नमस्कार सर, अभी मैंने नमस्कार सर को किया, शायद तब स्क्रीन नहीं आ रही थी।
प्रेरणा जी आप आज चलाइए, वो कंटिन्यू कीजिए, यू स्टार्ट विथ इनॉग्रल।
जयंती जी आप ही करिए। हाँ बहुत अच्छा करते हैं। जहाँ तक मेरा सवाल है कि मैं डॉक्टर शशि कुमार जी को बहुत आदर से देखती हूँ और उनकी बातों से लाभान्वित होती हूँ।
सर टाइम आप कैसे मैनेज करते हैं? हाउ डू यू मैनेज द टाइम?
Who?
यू।
I don't manage time. I manage my activities.
That is what.
If you start trying managing your time, you will be totally confused. So don't manage your time, because time is not in your control. You
Yes,
can
sir. Yes, sir.
you can manage only things what is in your control.
Yes. That is true.
So what is in our control is our activity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we have, I'm sure, when always what I do is I keep saying, I am not as busy as Prime Minister of India, right? They are able to do
Yes,
it.
true.
So we only think that we are too busy. Actually, we are not busy. So tell me, Prerna Arora.
जी sir, today in the morning I was just thinking that when we change our bodies, then the antahkaran goes and takes a new form. And in antahkaran it is said indriyas and man is there. But what about buddhi? Nishchayatmika is the buddhi, the decisive power of the man. And sankalpa vikalpatmaka mana. So why do they say that only mind goes
It is
in
not.
the next body?
It is not mind. It is Atma which goes.
Yes. The whole thing, the Jivatman, the intellect, the mind and the Indriyas, everything goes and takes a new form.
There is only subtle difference between Manas, Buddhi and Atma. It is all like a part of government. Who is government? Is the minister is the government, or administrator is the government, or judiciary is the government? We call these are three pillars. Who is government?
Not a single person.
Yes.
Everybody together.
Similarly, the Jiva, Atma is the judge, judiciary. Buddhi is almost like an administrator. The Manas is the people representation. Like Indriyas are people, Manas is the representative. It always keeps says, I want. Administrator will say, as per this rule, it is not permitted. You are a social being, don't do this. That is Buddhi. Atma is like a judge. After doing it, will tell you why did you do it. If you don't do it also, it will ask you why you did not do it. Both are wrong. So, when we say the Jiva is gone, the government is gone. It is not the Buddhi, it is not manas, it is not atma. It's all together, this agglomeration of this. And who is
How do you define?
Is buddhi and vivek the same thing?
buddhi and
Vivek.
yeah, no,
No, buddhi and vivek are not.
buddhi has got many fractions. Viveka buddhi, vivechana buddhi, all are different. Vivekam is where, when, what, how, why, where, when, what, why, how, in front of whom, what not, all these is called a discriminative buddhi. But vivechanam is at different context, different place, at different age it matters. Children need not have vivechana buddhi, but they should have viveka buddhi. Otherwise they will go with somebody else, not their parents alone. So some small differences can be seen like this. Vivekam, vivechanam, all these buddhis are above the normal buddhi where we keep only informations and analysis. That when we add our wisdom value, that become viveka vivechana buddhi. So education will not give you all that. So that are all controlled by the atma. When there is no conflict between buddhi, manas and atma, he is an atmiya purusha. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanah. So there you will see atma, 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 atma. Each line by line, word by word, contextually, it means different things.
Yes, yes.
So one is manas, prayogika buddhi is normal buddhi, what we say. Manas is also called buddhi there. We will see some reflections when we talk about stress, distress today.
Yes.
Because you asked, I will go through that path probably.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we are going to start the meeting.
Yeah, we will start as you say.
Good evening all. Welcome you all to our second discussion on the topic Distress, Redressal, Gita the Best. As you all know, Bhagavad Gita is said to be the sacred text of the Hindus. Many of the teachings are taken from the Upanishads and Vedanta. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said to be Prasthanatrayi. It teaches life management skill, teaches you Dharma, what is the nature of Dharma, what should be the nature of the Dharma. It also speaks about Adharma and Swadharma also. And one of the famous slok which I like and try to practice in my life, so that is Karmanye Badi Karaste Ma Phalesu Kadachana Ma Karma Phala Heturvuma Te Sangas Toba Karmani. So without wasting much time, I would like to inform you that we have Dr. T.P. Sasi Kumar with us. I think sir needs no introduction. He is an expert in this field. So I welcome you, sir, to this program. And over to Dr. T.P. Sasi Kumar. Sir, please.
Our Maya Satsang initiated by Jayanti ji. We had one request from Yamini to speak on Devi Sankalpa and Shakti. Actually today would have been a good day, Tuesday. There is very special day for Devi also. But but when we talk about everything, we will say that is the best. So when we talk about Gita, we should say Gita is the best. Probably we should tell Gita is the simplest among all the other scriptures. So maybe it is nice to look at Gita before going to Devi Sankalpa and all that, because it is little bit more complicated, esoteric than Gita. Probably one of the reason Bhagavad Gita is opted by many people, it is so simple and there is lot of repetitivity. So if you look at different chapters at different places, you will see lot of repetition. So today's topic, what we thought we will discuss is distress redressal, Gita the best. Though Dr. Jayanti wanted COVID and all that, see, it's always Bharatiya Shastram never prescribe medicines for diseases. So if at all somebody says yoga for COVID, meditation for COVID, medicine for COVID, that is not Bharatiya Shastram at all. Because Bharatiya Shastram only equip you to be strong. And you can face any problem in the world. It is not for this Ayurveda is created. It's a life science. How to live so that no disease will come to you. It is not solution for diseases. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is only an example where Arjuna was in a distress state and Bhagavan explained what all are required for every one of us to get into a change, an internal change, so that you will not face any problem in your life. Maybe that is how we should look at Bhagavad Gita. So when we talk about distress, the word stress is essential. Stress is, it's like a physics word where the pressure or strain applied to a unit area, how does it impact that material is what is called a stress. So if you push too much, use lot of force or lot of pressure, if it is a ball, it will go inside. That means it can D-shape. But if you do it on a wood, it will not be. So wood can take more stress. Maybe a sponge cannot take more stress because it D-shapes itself. So the shape changes when there is stress. But psychologically, when you say stress, that is a emotional state of affair where olden days psychology used to tell that this is like a tension. But in Bharatiya Shastram, we have to understand this is different from what is tension. Tension is not making you to perform. Stress is always making you to perform. So in management science, they have a word called productive stress. That is to motivate you to do something. If you don't have stress, probably you will not run to catch the train and you may miss the train. In morning, if you have to travel, definitely you are in a hurry, you drive faster, maybe you will run faster, and that, or assume you are in a sports field, you have to win the game, probably you will take stress. That's a productive stress. Where is the break line? The stress becomes tension, then you will not be able to take that stress and you lose your control. You may fall. Instead of catching the train, you will fall even before reaching the railway station. So that is, tension is unproductive. So distress is also similar to tension, because tension is normally used. So I am connecting that to that. So because of anxiety, because of pain, because of pressure, which is not able to take, that state of affair where emotionally you become unbalanced, that is distress. So first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Vishada Yogam, that Vishadam word is distress. Actually Arjuna is in Vishadam. That means he is not able to perform. That is clearly mentioned where his hand was sweating, his lips were dried up, and Gandhivam was falling. He himself said, Parishushyate, I am not able to hold anything, I am not able to stand. And he was in full distress. It was not stress. But in a war field, what is that required for you? During examination, when you are preparing for examination, what you require is stress. If you don't have stress, you will not prepare for exam. But before the exam hall, you get fainted and then you are falling. That means you are in distress, you are in tension. So stress need not be counseled. There is no resolution required for stress. Resolution is giving the strength of a firm decision so that you can do an activity with the full stress also. Because if you don't have stress, you are not going to perform well. So resolution is required, accepting the stress. So that means a sponge-like thing where you are not able to hold the pressure, make you stubborn and strong so that any external force is not going to destabilize you, de-shape you. Your shape is stable. That is what we are looking at when we talk about what Bhagavad Gita is giving is a resolution on distress and making Arjuna to face all the stress of a war. You cannot say in a war field you don't have stress. You have. Similarly, in our life, it is not resolving the problems and get rid of all the problems and then be happy. No. You should have all the troubles and problems in this life. A non-performer have no problems in this world. A performer has always problems. So don't ever pray to God that I should not have this problem, I should not have that problem. The best Bhakta is one who always asks for problems. Probably the best Bhakta is, can anybody suggest who is the best Bhakta in the whole Mahabharata? Pancha Pandava's mother?
Yes, Kunti.
Kunti always said, see, that is why all the story itself is because she always wanted problems in life. There is a reason also. She says, if I am so happy, I am not going to remember you, my God. To remember you, I need problems in my life. That is why she is able to call Bhagavan every time, because Bhagavan will not go to somebody who doesn't have problems. Because Vishnu, Bhagavan himself is God of action. Wherever there is action, there is problem. Inaction is no problem. When you go and wash a glass, then only there is a chance of breaking. If you don't wash it, you will not have the complaint of breaking something. If you don't drive, you don't have accidents. You have to drive and make accidents also, no problem. But once you are in such a state, how do you face? Don't become distressed. You don't have to take examination tension. No stress at all. Don't study. No, that is not our aim. Our aim is write all examinations, face all problems, and still have that courage. That is actually making you to get into action. That is what the distress resolution in Bhagavad Gita. And for such a problem, practically what is explained in all our mythological textbooks, only one book is there, that is Bhagavad Gita. In other textbooks, Upanishads also explains, but without a story. So once a Purana is added, an Itihasa is added, our Vedas and Upanishads become stronger because we can relate to our life problems. Otherwise, it becomes only a theory class. We cannot relate to practical life. That is where probably Bhagavad Gita became most essential. And we have to salute to Chinmaya Swami for making it more popular. Starting from Shankara, who did a great commentary. But that commentary Shankara did it for many textbooks. But who made this popular among public is Chinmaya Swami. So therefore, we all, whoever wants to learn Bhagavad Gita, probably will have to look at, but the problem is Chinmaya explains Bhagavad Gita, most of his recordings and all that available are all recorded mostly in America. And he takes practical examples in the Western world. That may not be that applicable in Indian field. And don't copy such examples, because in that context in 1970s, what is contextually good may not be contextually good today. So whenever you have stress, distress, resolution, we should also look at the contextual reference. So it's nice to learn from such things, but you need a guide. You need somebody who will help you out. To overcome the problems? No. To somehow resolve your problems? No. To run away from problems? No. To face the problem, challenge yourself. Yes, I am strong. I can take anything in this world. So the whole resolution, if you look at sloka by sloka, there can be hundreds of slokas. Out of 700, 500 slokas are important. Maybe the first chapter is not important because it's only telling the problem. Diagnosis is also not started. Pathology is not done. Krishna started involving only in second chapter. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita doesn't start in first chapter. It is Bhagavan's Gita. It starts in second chapter only when Arjuna himself said, I am in problem. To Krishna directly. Otherwise, he had a lot of complaints. But complaints are not accepted by God. He has to tell Krishna directly, this is my problem. And therefore, the distress is defined in chapter 2, sloka number 7. That is where actual Bhagavad Gita requirement is felt by Arjuna, and he requests Krishna, or he is asking Krishna, I surrender to you, because doctor can give you prescription only when you go to him and ask. If somebody doesn't ask, even though I am a doctor, I don't have to stand on the road and say, they come, you have some disease, take this medicine. There are many such gurus. That is not Bhagavan Krishna's job. Only when Arjuna said, I am in confusion and I need your suggestion. What will happen when you are in distress? You will not be able to take a decision. That is why second chapter, 7th sloka is most important in Bhagavad Gita. That is where Karpanya doshopa hatasvabhava pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yat sreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I surrender to you. Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Hey Bhagavan, I am surrendering to you. I am your disciple. I am your student. You are my master. I am fully under you. Nothing else is required. Then Bhagavan will start giving. Only when you go to doctor and say, I have got this disease, doctor will start prescribing. That is why Krishna prescribed. So this is the second chapter, 7th sloka is most important because of this. And why I wanted to surrender to you, that also Arjuna makes it very clear. Because first chapter is not Arjuna to Krishna. That is Sanjaya telling Dhritarashtra, and Sanjaya is reporting what is the status of Arjuna in the war field and what made Arjuna to surrender to Krishna. That is like the preface. The introduction is here only. Karpanya doshopahata swabhava. Karpanya dosham. What is Karpanya dosham? Karpanya dosham is you are on a road and you want to go forward. You are seeing a rope. You don't know whether the rope is a snake or a rope, you are in confusion. I am not able to take a decision because I am having anxiety. If you are sure that's a snake, you would have hit that and killed, or you would have taken back and then gone. All that is possible. Arjuna would have ran away from the war field, there is no problem. Bhagavad Gita will not be there. But he is in confusion. Iti kartavya bhada mudada. Whether to do this or whether to do that. Which is correct? Whether to be here and start fighting or running away is better. That problem is what is distress. You are not able to decide yourself. You are in distress. And karpanya doshopa hatasvabhava prichamitvam dharma sammudam. I don't know which is dharma, whether to fight or not to fight. That is why the Dharma Shastra is explained by Krishna. If he is very sure that whatever he is doing is wrong, this sloka would not have been there. He would have ran away. So all of us have this problem today. But our major problem is we have a buddhi which says don't do it. We have a manas which says do it. And that confusion is what is the conflict. The conflict is what is creating us problem. So that conflict, there is a great quote saying that ancient to physics is Mahatma Gandhi to conflictology. Mahatma Gandhi was one person who had the biggest conflict in the world. His subject of study of Mahatma Gandhi has to be with the conflictology. Because everyone is doing in one style, striking against Britishers, Mahatma Gandhi took a different path. Taking a different path in this world by yourself with your wisdom, which may not be acceptable to many people in this world, is actually a conflict. That is a conflict in society. Assume that the whole people are fighting against Britishers and Mahatma Gandhi says, don't do this non-violence. Who else can do this? Don't you think Mahatma Gandhi, as a person of great buddhi and wisdom, he did not had this conflict in him? Every other politician would have started scolding him. Internal meetings, Mahatma Gandhi used to be one person and against all the other members in his party. Nobody else can understand what he is saying. So to make others convinced, that is difficult. So that is the state Arjuna is, because it is not, everybody is not ready to fight war. Everybody is ready to fight war. Only one man says, I don't want to fight war. That too when you are in the war field. One day earlier, previous evening, if they had, Arjuna had all this confusion, he should have had a discussion with his 5 brothers and said, I am running away from this place. I don't want to come to war field. Gita would not have been there. Mahabharata would not have been there. But Arjuna was totally convinced until yesterday evening, today morning also. That is why Arjuna said, take my chariot in the center of the war field. See, so in that sort of a situation, having decided to fight war, how can he say no? That Arjuna also knows. So it is not that he don't know. So that is what. But seeing those great people beside, and all of them are very close to him, now he is not able to decide what is to be done. That is where actual Krishna's involvement starts. So what was the answer? Every sloka by sloka I have in detail probably explained once or twice. These are all available on YouTube. I am only looking at that topic. When he become distressed, what will be the state of mind? You will become fully sad and you are not able to perform anything. So where is the answer Bhagavan giving? Or where is the Bhagavad Gita starting in Bhagavad Gita textbook? It is not chapter number 1, sloka number 1. No. It is chapter number 2, sloka number 11. If you study Bhagavad Gita like this, it becomes so simple. And what is the starting word? If you are in distress, what will happen to you? We will become sad. We will be crying. Not even crying. The sound will not come out. Your mouth will not be, it will be holding in your chest and you say, you will start sobbing. What's it called? Sobbing, right? That is what will happen. Probably maximum you will weep. Cry will not come. Sound will not come. The other person will not know that you have pain inside you. That unshown pain inside is what is called shocham. Therefore, Krishna knows what Arjuna said is only very little, but inside him there is more sadness. That is why Bhagavan starts Bhagavad Gita with the second chapter, 11th sloka. Ashocyananya shochastvam prajnavatam chabhashase gadasuna gadasumscha nanushochandi panditaha. Pandidaha, knowledgeable person who has got a brain. If you have buddhi, then you will not become sad, because practical what is to be done is what you will think. But Krishna starting says, Ashocyan, don't become sad. Because when you are sad, your buddhi will not work. When you are in tension, buddhi will not work. When you are deep sorrow, buddhi will not work. Your practical knowledge will become zero when you are in distress. Because you will have tension and you will have all that wisdom which you have, the power to take some nice decisions, everything will wipe away from you. Therefore, this is where Bhagavad Gita starts. So starting word is Ashocya. Don't become sad. Don't be distressed. And where is Bhagavad Gita ending? The Bhagavad Gita, this is the way every person has to write their thesis. First objective and scope, and then end with conclusion. Both objective and scope and conclusion can be seen together. You know the content of the thesis. That is as good as looking at the whole chapters. So here also Bhagavad Gita follows that sort of a documentation which is perfect in its documentation style. So here the shucha, the grief, the fear, the tension, that is what the crux of the problem addressed in the beginning of the text. And end of the text, what Bhagavan says? Bhagavan says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vracha. Where in 7th sloka Arjuna said, I am going to surrender to you. Krishna did not give an answer saying, yes, you can surrender to me. After 17 chapters, the whole base is made. After making the base, 18th chapter, 66th sloka only, he says, Mamekam sharanam vraja. Come and surrender to me. Arjuna was ready in the second chapter itself. I don't know why Krishna took all the 17 chapters to tell him, now you can surrender. He should have asked, yes, done. And he would have told Arjuna, fight. He would have fought. But idea is not that, because Bhagavad Gita is not for making Arjuna to fight. Bhagavad Gita is to tell the whole people in this world what is that you are supposed to follow to get out of distress, to make you happy. It is not a problem, a solution. Yeah, it is a problem, a solution. It is not the problem, the solution. It is not the problem, the solution. Not specifically for that problem, the solution is given. It is for every problem in the world, a generic solution is given, for which you will have to tell the theory. That is why Bhagavad Gita is there. So, the last chapter, why is it important? 18th chapter is where he is concluding. The conclusion is not in 78th sloka. Though Bhagavad Gita ends in 78th sloka, it ends as a preaching by Bhagavan. It ends in 66th sloka itself. Sarva dharman parityajya. You forget about all the dharma, all the lecture what I gave, all the classes which I gave. Everything is not important. Action is important. Theory is not important. Action is important. That's what he says. Mamekam sharanam vraja, and do everything with full devotion. Surrender to me means surrender to your Atma. Because Krishna is the Atma here. He is the judge who decides what is right and what is wrong. Aham tva sarva pabebhyo. If anything is there, don't worry about this janma. Next janma we can take care. Aham tva sarva pabebhyo. Because you don't have to think about today. If there is a consequence out of my action today, that will come tomorrow. Let me face it tomorrow. That's what he says. Moksha ishyami mashucha. For the time being, because you have confusion, you are not able to enjoy the moment. So enjoy the moment. Ma shucha. Don't be sad. Ashocha nanyashochastvam in 2nd chapter 11th sloka. Ending Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 66th sloka. Ma shucha. Starting with ashocha. That also means ma shucha. Don't become sad. The last ending also ma shucha. Don't become sad. So what is Bhagavad Gita? Don't become sad. Even when somebody comes beside you crying with the most difficult situation, the first word what we say is, don't cry, yeah, listen to me, I'll tell you what is to be done. It's the same thing what Bhagavan said. At the end also what we will say, assume some of your relatives or the good friends, somebody died, you go to that house, the first thing what we say is, we will not ask you what happened, why this happened, when they were admitted. The first we will say, don't cry. Because then only the dialogue can start. That's what same thing Bhagavan said. Bhagavan started saying, don't be sad, don't cry. I am here with you. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo. All that I will take care. Moksha ishyami mashucha. What I can give you? Happiness. That's only what I said. There are only two possibilities. Can I do something about the situation today? Answer is yes or no. Very simple. If I say yes I can do, then do it. Problem is over. If I cannot do it, what I can say? No, I cannot do it. Then go or run away. Accept the reality. This is the situation. I cannot do anything. Then what is to be done? Take it as it comes. So either you can do action, and the other way you cannot stop something, again do action, accepting the consequences. There is only one possibility then, action. And where is confusion? The confusion is because you are worried about your materialistic world around this materialistic body. The body is more important to you. I am going to die. Why do you worry anyway? Otherwise also you will die. That is what is being told as Deha Atma Buddhi. I believe in Atma, but I don't disbelieve in my Deham. So there is Deham, my body, in which I have got a Manas Buddhi Atma. Therefore, my faith is more in my body, because I refer to Atma also relating to my body only. The first is and most important is my body. So I have to take care of my body. Therefore, that is called a Dehatma Buddhi. In that Dehatma Buddhi, more important is, if I follow only the body, I am like an animal. That means my buddhi is not active. So in Dehatma Buddhi, one portion is animal Dehatma Buddhi. Maybe another is where my buddhi and body works together, and I will do everything to safeguard my I am important, my body is important. Then I am like a Daman person. Rakshasiyata. Such people have no fear, because they are ready to do anything to safeguard themselves. If Arjuna was a Damanic person, he was a Rakshasiyata, he would not have fear at all. He will fight everyone in front of him without thinking. His problem is, he has got this human nature inside him, the Sattvikata inside him, the Manavikata inside him, the humanness inside him. Therefore, his buddhi is not what is working. His manas is working. Therefore, he has got the feelings inside him. Therefore, he has got empathy, sympathy, concern for others, all that is what is creating problem to him. If he is a person with only buddhi, wonderful. He would have been like an animal, or he would have been like a real warrior who will fight with everyone and then win the war instantaneously without any problem. But that is not his state. And there is another buddhi called Devatma buddhi. One is Dehatma buddhi and the another one is Devatma buddhi. In that Devatma buddhi, you are only following Atma and you are not worried about your body. And in such cases, it is not showing that you are well. It is not keep showing that, yeah, I am very, very cute, I am happy, and showing that you are happy, but internally you are boiling. There are many people, the charisma quotient or something which you call, where you wanted to show that everything is all right. That is what will happen when there is a big problem. Assume that even when you are saying tata bye bye to your boss, and by that when he was closing the door, assume your finger gets inside and then it gets pain, then still you will smile and say, no problem, I am all right. Because you don't want to show your bad face to him. Actually, you are pretending. That is not the situation. Here, you accept the situation and stay tuned to your Atma without any conflict or confusion inside you. What is inside you is what you are showing. Are you matured enough to show in such a situation, showing such a mind, showing such a, not showing it, being inside that. So what is Atma? Atma stage is being, not showing. Buddhi is what is showing. Because you know practically somebody is there, I should show this. Arjuna is not showing. Arjuna was very genuine when he said, I don't want to fight war. It is not let his message be gone to his grandfather Bhishma, and Bhishma will feel, oh, Arjuna is very close to me, therefore he actually don't want to fight. That was not the situation. If that was the situation, he will not tell all this. So Krishna could assess he had a real problem and he needs a real solution. That is where the solution was given to take him to a state of Devatma Buddhi, but not as the Dehatma Buddhi, not Deham, body. Get inside the Atma to tell him this is what is best for you. That is where Bhagavad Gita becomes very good. So, one of the sloka probably the confusion between Manas, Buddhi and Atma. Where just before starting we had a discussion with Aurora, and that is why I thought I will take this route today. Uddhared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmaha naha. That 6th chapter, 5th sloka, I think. That is what is most important, probably one of the slokas in Bhagavad Gita. Uddhared atmanatmanam. 6th chapter. You should always have Bhagavad Gita beside you to refer. That is better. Yeah, Uddhared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanava. You will see here atma repeatedly used. Atma is your friend, Atma is your enemy. How can the same Atma be friend and enemy to you? I have a buddhi and I have a manas. There are only two sorts of people here. Somebody will listen to their head, somebody will listen to their heart. Nelson Mandela only told this. These sort of two people are not possible. There is only one fellow. Either you can listen to buddhi or you can listen to heart. Nelson Mandela's daughter expired today, I think. Now, what is Nelson Mandela says? You cannot have buddhi and manas both active in same person, same time. Either you can have a good head or good heart. If you are a good-hearted fellow, I will say, I want. And you definitely will do it irrespective of what the buddhi prescribes. There are only so practical some people, they will only listen to buddhi, they will not listen to manas. I want to eat mirchi bhaji. Who will tell? It is only manas who says, buddhi will never say. Buddhi immediately will say the mirchi bhaji which is sold on the market, they use the same oil 3 days, it is not good. The smell is good, but it is not that good for your tummy. So many logics you will find not to have it. So that logical reasoning is given by buddhi. That is the conflict. Here Bhagavan says, Uddharet. Lift that manas, lift that buddhi. To which level? The judge's level. Judge is your Atma. Not that government who is elected by the people, like legislative people, they want everything to be given to public. Administrator will say, as per this rule, it is not possible. So, buddhi is like an administrator. Manas is like a person, individual, citizen in the country. I want. But government cannot give everything. So, buddhi is the ruling people, administrators. They will say, as per rule, it is not permitted. But assume that you do something without permission from the buddhi or as per the manas, or you don't do it because buddhi says don't do it. Both are possible. There are only two options, either do or don't do. If you don't do, immediately the same you inside you will tell, yeah, I should have had mirchi bhaji. What is problem? That stomach problem and all will come tomorrow, which I can handle later. Let me have it because my manas says have it. If I don't eat whatever I want in my life, what is this life? I must enjoy. The life is to enjoy. So let me have whatever I want. But the buddhi told don't have it. Okay, you did not had and you are going to sleep. Night definitely mirchi bhaji will come in your sleep. So next day morning you will become again sad. Okay, assume you had it, what would have happened? Night you become sleepless because you would have had a stomach pain. In both cases, this Atma will tell, yeah, I told you that time itself you should not have it. Actually, Atma did not tell. Like a judge who will not involve in action, but once the action is done or no action is done, judge will say, you should have done it, you should not have done it. So what is to be done? We ourselves have got these three portions in us. And then I myself will tell, yeah, I should not have told this. Or I may say, I should have told this, I should have done this. This is the conflict which we should have. So what Bhagavan says, this conflict should not be there. You decide. Confusion is not there. I know this is a snake. I will kill that snake. Later I found it was not snake, it was rope. Okay, no problem. My action is lost. I wasted my energy. Okay, doesn't matter. What are you going to do with your energy? Okay, if it would have been snake, what will happen? It would have died. Then I will feel happy. But what is your problem? Iti kartavyava mudhata. I am not able to do anything. I am stuck there. I am looking at it without any action. That is what Bhagavan doesn't like. So Arjuna would not have come to war field, no conflict, no confusion, no distress. But here he came thinking that I wanted to fight, but he is not fighting. If you don't study, we have no problem. But once you study and you have an examination, you reach up to the exam hall and you say, I don't want to write exam, then that is not correct. That is only Bhagavan says. You decide what you want to do and then go. Once you go, then take it. That confusion should not be there. That is a path of dynamic action with the full determination, with no confusion inside you, no conflict inside you. Then you have no distress at all. You may do right or wrong, all that can be decided later. That's what it says. How do you gain this? This is in chapter 5. That's approximately 1/3 of Bhagavad Gita. If at all you want to look at it in that way. Then another beautiful sloka which probably could have been called as the best sloka in Bhagavad Gita always will be, everything best we will keep in the chest of the almara. The cupboard in the center. Where do you keep cupboard? You don't keep it in the corner of the house. You keep it in the center of the house. Similarly, the center of Bhagavad Gita, center of center, 9th chapter, almost in the center we have kept one secret of Bhagavad Gita, that is 22nd sloka. What does it say? Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyaham. This is actually the essence of Bhagavad Gita. What does it say? Ananyaschintayanto mam. Anything which you do, don't have confusion. Distress comes only when you have confusion. You decided to fight a war, then you should fight a war. You don't say that I don't know what to do, then you are in confusion. If you are in confusion, definitely you are sure that nothing is happening because you are not active in action. When you are active in action and you are fully involved in that, you will never have confusion. So best method is get involved into that action. Don't think and waste time. This is called presence of mind. Presence of mind is required. Immediate action. Whether to do it or not, you don't have time to think. Ananyaschintayantoma. Without having any other thoughts, if you decide, do it. There is a saying, people who are so wise, they keep on thinking. Think and become tank. No action, only thinking. You become so tired, you will not have energy to do anything. Don't do that. Immediate action. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. Who are the people who are doing upasana to me? What is that upasana? Doing action is what is upasana for Bhagavan. You have to be active. Immediate action. If you do immediate action, then you are part of Bhagavan. When you do immediate action, Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam. I guarantee you, in the whole Bhagavad Gita or in all the scriptures in Bharatiya Shastram, Upanishads, Veda, Brahmanas, everywhere you take, no place Bhagavan guarantees, a guarantee is given by Bhagavan that I will be with you. There is only one place he says that. I guarantee you. What is that he is guaranteeing? Yogatshemam. What is Yogatshemam? Yoga means joining. What is that you want to join in your life? Wealth, happiness, education, all that. Whatever you want, I will guarantee you. Yogam. Yogam is joining. Kshemam is keeping it safe. Whatever you have will not be lost. When are we sad? We are sad when we learned something and that is not coming to buddhi immediately whenever I want. Then we are distressed. Because I forgot. If you have not studied, no problem. The bad student is never distressed even they fail in examination. You are only in tension when you studied everything and you are not able to write it in examination. When question comes in the interview board, I am not able to tell. I knew the answer, but that time I did not get. Then you are in distress. So here it is very clear. Yogam, you studied, you earned a lot of money and lost. Then you are in distress. If you have not earned anything, nothing is lost. Then you are not in tension. You had a good fame. A good celebrity loses his name. Then he has tension. What is there for normal people? Nothing is there to lose because they are not famous. So only famous people have this problem. Losing their name, fame, everything only for famous people. So you have it. Then I guarantee you, I will keep with you all the time. That's what is called the Yogatshemam. Yogatshemam mahamyaham. That I will guarantee you. That's what Bhagavan says. So here, Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasade. Those people who get into action without thinking anything, you will never have distress. You will always be happy. You will be in well-being. You will be happy. This is what Bhagavan says. We can go on and on because the whole Bhagavad Gita is full of these slokas. But I am sure we are not here to listen to Bhagavad Gita lectures and explanations on slokas. If you look at maybe 100 slokas can be seen where distress itself is explained. Dukkha. Dukkha is distress. Shocham is distress. So different words are used. Distress, misery, pain. All these are equivalent similes. All that only one. That is why second chapter is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, in which all of them from 3rd chapter to 18th chapter, the gist is given in 2nd chapter. And second chapter, every sloka you can connect it to all the other chapters. So my Bhagavad Gita textbook will have lot of side slips. This sloka related to this sloka, this sloka related to this sloka, this sloka related to this sloka. So you will see a lot of repetitions, explanations. Why? Because some class is given, Arjuna will have a question. Second point is told, he will have again another question. So he was a good student because he had a lot of questions from what is told in the second chapter. Before that, he surrendered. Yes, I am ready to listen to you. Teacher has to teach only those people who will listen. Otherwise, it's waste of time. So definitely, this was one of the greatest class where Krishna is only focusing on making him happy. The mind has to be in peace, not in violence. So the first chapter is full of violence. When you are in distress, we don't know what we will do. That's a violent mind. Moksha Sannyasa Yogam, 18th chapter is called a silent mind. So what is Bhagavad Gita? A violent Arjuna to a silent Arjuna. Violence will not give you a productive action. In silence, we can do a productive action. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. So it is for a productive action with full logic. That is why the second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. Fully logic. Because Manas is active in the first chapter. Second chapter, Buddhi has to be active. Then slowly take it into Atma level. That is where Moksha Sannyasa Yogam. Moksham, Sannyasam and all is for Atma. So that is a transition from Manas to Buddhi to Atma. That is what Bhagavad Gita's movement in terms of Atmiyata. In between there are great slokas. If I am not able to become silent, dukkham, sukham, I am not able to control, how should I speak is what Arjuna is asking. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. How do a sthita prajna will pretend and speak? Sometimes we pretend and speak. The words will be sthita prajna. Mind need not be. Buddhi need not be. That is where sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. But Bhagavan did not give a direct answer. He says, Dukkheshu anutiknamana sukheshu vigata spruha vida raga bhaya krodha sthitatir muniruchade. He is not telling your dukkham has to be controlled. He says, dukkham, sukham also has to be controlled. Because when dukkham is not able to control, sukham also will not be able to control. You will all get overexcited. When you get overexcited, again you will have trouble in your life. So don't get overexcited. Don't get over deep in sorrow. If at all you have, immediately I must be able to control it. That controlling is what is, or accepting that situation is what Bhagavad Gita prescribes. I think I spoke good enough. Almost in 45 minutes to 1 hour. So maybe we will take up some questions or discussions, or somebody wanted to add. I'm sure all of you are people who learned Bhagavad Gita at a different level. And you could also give some comments or maybe add from whatever you wanted to add.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Good.
Sir, what is Dharma? And how do you define Dharma? And when I used to see Mahabharata, I get confused by seeing all the characters. Like what Yudhishthir did is Dharma, or what Bhishma did is Dharma, or what Dronacharya did is Dharma. So what exactly the nature of Dharma? Just I would like to listen from you. That is my question. So
Dharma is totally undefined. Where, when, why, how, in front of whom, what, in what context, who is doing, all that matters. If killing somebody is not adharmam, if killing is adharmam, our border people, no soldiers will stand there. But killing somebody at that place, in that uniform, by that person, in the border is permitted for his professional dharma. So dharma is divided into different parts. One is swadharma, individual dharma. One is professional dharma. One is kudumba dharma, family dharma. One is samuha dharma. One is my caste. By birth I belong to one, maybe a butcher. My job is supporting my father. I cannot say I will not do it. I happen to take birth in a thief's family. My father happens to be a job is only theft. I also have to do my father's job. That is my family dharma. But my individual dharma can conflict with my family dharma. I am a chartered accountant. What is my job? Make the accounts in such a fashion that my client will not give tax to government. I will manipulate the accounts in such a fashion, my tax is minimum. So cheating government is the certificate for a chartered accountant. I am an LLB. In the court, what is my dharma? If somebody kills somebody or do any mischief and then come to me saying that, sir, you are my lawyer, you have to fight this case. What is my dharma? I cannot say you go to police and then surrender because you killed somebody. My job is to save him. That is my professional dharma. I am a doctor. Somebody has got a tumor. Cutting somebody's body is not correct. But as a doctor, cutting somebody's body at that point is correct. But because I have got a license to cut somebody's body, I cannot take a knife and then cut everybody in this world. So where, when, why, how, everything matters. As a prime minister, when he is addressing the nation, even he has got an itching, he should not do this. But I don't mind doing it because we are in a satsang. Correct? So the mannerism is a dharma. Sitting in a classroom, I cannot keep my leg on the table and sit in the chair. But at home, I must be having that freedom to lie down on the floor and keep my legs on the tepoy and watch TV. But I should not do it when I go to my neighbor's house and somebody's house as a guest. Or in my own house when there is a guest, I should not do it. So in front of whom is also matter. Then we will say this is not correct. What is correct and what is wrong? What is right and what is wrong is all defined by culture. Probably some culture which we have in Western world is not what the culture we have in India. So when you go to America, probably on the street, whatever you want, you can do it. But in India, you are not supposed to do it. In the seashore, probably you have a dress code. But the same dress, same person cannot walk on the street. So where, when, why, how, all these are dharma. We say this person doesn't have culture. Culture is another word for dharma. What you practice, what is acceptable by people. So dharma, I love to listen to music, there is no problem. But my family doesn't like to listen to music. That maybe jazz music, somebody doesn't like, somebody likes only classical music. What should they do? They should use a earplug and play. That's it. So I should not disturb somebody else. Got it? So,
sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is that?
Sir, I have a question.
Who is that?
Sir,
Chinmay.
I am Chinmay
Satpathy,
I
yeah.
have a question, sir.
Yeah.
I want to ask whether Atma does anything or it is dynamic or static while in the body.
See, Atma is the energy. Like you have got a tumbler in which you have water. Kshetra. So you have a tumbler, you have water inside. That's it. We have a jiva inside us that is not static, not dynamic also. The same Atma can move from me out come inside me, anything is possible. That's why we say that Shankara had a Paravakaya Pravesham. So the body actions keep remaining, but that is not the full effect. I can make it passive sometime because it will not react totally. 10% may work. 1%.
So Atma is both dynamic.
Yeah, both dynamic and active, passive, everything. It depends on. Samadhi means my Atma is also not active. That is actually Samadhi, which is left from me. A actual real psychiatrist, hypnotist can take your Atma out of you and play with that. Through self-hypnosis, you can make you to sleep yourself inside you. That time even you don't even know. The weight of the body becomes zero. There were such people. Because body has...
So if Atma is... Sir, if Atma is taken as a positive form always, so how can we involve in negative actions?
See, everyone is by birth given by the earlier Dushkarma or Sakarma. There is a portion of which comes along with us. That is what Bhagavan says in 5th, 6th, 7th chapters and all that. That's why he says, even if you discontinue these actions, your path towards the Sattvikata need not be, you will be able to follow it. But there are a lot of situations in which there will be a hampering. Then what will happen? Next Janma, with these karma, you will get some better position. So it is not one Janma. Don't have to count by what Janma is. Janma is until yesterday what DrTPS have done, that makes me to be more peaceful or not peaceful. Yesterday if I have done something wrong, definitely today I will not be in peace. So that is what is Janma. Janma is not my last birth. Yesterday's life is my today's Janma. Definition. So what I do yesterday has got a relevance for today, and my thoughts will be totally inside that. So I can make my manas more pure, my Atma more pure. I will not be in tension at all. I will not be in distress. If I have no anxiety, most of our anxiety, 99% of the anxiety is not now, today, this moment action. It is all because of previous actions, yesterday's action. Previous means yesterday means just one earlier time. That's it. Previous. Yeah.
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Sir, how can we move from violence to silence?
That is the difficult.
How our journey can be.
Yeah. My guru is from Himalayan tradition, Swami Vedabharati. One of the best practice which he gives is only he says, I don't teach meditation, no samadhi, nothing. Only he teaches one thing, silence. You decide one day you are not going to talk to anybody. I have seen people in...
That is through practice only.
Yeah, that is by practice.
Practice.
That is why even Arjuna says, I will not be able to control my... No, he will not say, I will not be able to control my mind. He says, controlling mind is as difficult as stopping the wind. Then what Bhagavan says? Bhagavan says, you practice it. If you practice, you will be able to do it. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Vairagyam. Vairagya buddhi is what is required. For silence, most important is vairagyam. I don't want. Keep on telling. And how do you tell this? By practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Keep on repeating same practice. So, I have seen people who are 400 days silence. And the Swamiji, my guru, Swami Vedabharati, he himself went into silence. He was a person who went around the world and giving lectures. He said, from this day onwards, I will be in silence. And in silence only he died. How can somebody, a famous person, decide that no, who keeps on lecturing, tell one day I am not going to speak to anybody today onwards. I will be in silence. It's the biggest conflict for some people. And how can you be in such a state with voluntarily being in silent and being happy? Being in silent and unhappy is possible. But being in silent and happy is the most difficult situation. But that is the most... No. Tell me.
But sir, we have a long history of silence, tradition of silence.
Yes, we have.
Bhakta also practiced.
Yeah.
And Nagar so did that, better Buddhist.
Yes, there are plenty of people who did that.
Sir, actually during silence, is there any action in mind, moves?
No.
Like anything. So in silence also.
No, that is what I said. If you are internally silent, that is different. But externally silent, internally violent. That is the worst situation.
Yes, sir.
That is the worst
Your
situation.
thoughtless mind.
No, thoughtless mind is impossible. That is why we say Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyaharam. When you are in Pratyaharam, then Dharana, then Dhyanam, then Samadhi. So nobody can teach Samadhi. It is to be attained by yourself. Dhyanam, nobody can teach Dhyanam also. You have to attain yourself Dhyanam. I can only lead you up to Dharana. So if at all I can teach somebody, I can have a Dharanalayam. I can have a place where I can make you to focus into something. After focusing, getting into that layam with the Dhyanam is individualistic. Being with the nobody is what is Dhyanam. How can you have a group Dhyanam? How can you have a group meditation? Group is not there. When you are getting inside you, your body itself is not there. How can I be in a group? What a conflicting thing is what is being taught here. I don't understand. Capsuled meditation practices. What is that you are doing? Samadhi. What is Samadhi? Getting inside you. Getting inside you, how can you do it in a group? Vivekananda himself said you cannot meditate in crossroads. What does it mean by crossroad? When there is some disturbance, you will not be able to meditate. You cannot get into Samadhi. You cannot have multiple people. You have to be alone. Bhagavad Gita clearly explains how to be in Samadhi. Yogarudhan. That is the word. Yogarudhan. Search for Yogarudha in Bhagavad Gita and you will reach there. Exactly you will reach. So,
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
How Yogi Arabinda brings the universal consciousness.
Yeah.
So to raise the world. How?
See,
Through meditation.
Okay, tell me where is your consciousness in your body? Then comes the universe.
And in mind.
No, that's a problem. Where is your mind? It's a beautiful...
Sir, no place.
Yeah, no. It is there. It's a beautiful question. It's a wonderful question. If you have understood Aravind's principle, we don't have to go to universe conference and identify what is lot of conferences, seminars and all that to teach you what is this is not required. The whole Jnanam comes in only identifying what Aravindo said. One book, one knowledge is good enough. He says,
What is that?
yeah, that is very simple. You have a finger to identify, to tell that this is my consciousness. Okay, then ask a question. I have a consciousness, Atma inside me, which is my consciousness, which is there in every cell, but that is very difficult to make people to understand. So ask a question, is my nose is closer to me or my eyes are closer to me? Keep on asking this question, touching every part of your body. Which part of my body is closest to me? That me you identify. That is the concentrated me inside me. Is it possible for
So
anyone?
how individual,
Yeah, individually there is
as
a
an individual, how to bring
yeah,
universal, I mean,
keep on asking this question. In my body, whether this part is closer to me or nose is closer to me, keep on touching every part of your body. Ultimately, what Aravindo says, all the Yoga Rudha says, all the scripture says that between the eyebrow and the nose joining, this is where we are. This is the focus of concentration. That is why every hypnotist will look at, assume you want to get into somebody's mind. You want to, even when we teach marketing principles in management classes, where to look at somebody to convince them that you are close to him, so that he will listen to you, he will exactly follow what you say. Now try this with the people. Between the eye and the nose, the joining, Atna Chakram, that's why it is called Atna Chakram. Get into the Atna Chakram, look there, then you are focusing on him. Every hypnotist will take you away from here on him. That's how we take people out. I am a hypnotist, that's how we take. So we just touch here and then take you off. That is why we keep our sandalwood paste has to be put here only. When you put there, you are putting in your whole body. It's equivalent to that. So Aravindo identified where is your Atna Chakram. That Atna Chakram, that is our consciousness. What is giving me directions in my life is my consciousness. During Mrityu, the death is over, there are many pranas goes off. There are variety of pranas, in which one of the prana, the one first thing what is going is from this Atna Chakram. Dhum, that goes, then no control on this body. So every cell in our body is not pasted together. In biologically, every cell is independent. Between one cell to another cell, there is no bondage. They are all staying together because each cell in my body has a consciousness. I belong to this body. Because between the cell, there is a gap. Between atom, if you look at atom, there is a nucleus and electrons going around it. That means there is space between neutron and electron. How that bondage is created, how molecule is created, how the cell is created, how the body is created, because we have a consciousness. And that coverage, when there is lot of cells with this consciousness put together, that is what is called aura. But there is a...
So we can regulate.
Yeah, we can regulate it. We can regulate it. And all of us are all of us are aware of that. But maybe you are not intentionally learning it and understanding it. But every one of us have the ability to look at it. We can also train people to look at somebody's aura and then see that you can measure it. You can play with that. You can give it. You can take it. You can make somebody sick. You can give aura and make people powerful. All that is possible. That was my research probably 20 years back. I enjoyed playing with aura.
Well, anyone having any other questions? प्रेरणा जी, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे? प्रेरणा जी, गुरिंदर जी, आप
सर एक बात तो मैं ये सोच रही थी कि जो इट इज सेड ना योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम. तो you told that yoga is joining whatever we want, name, fame, money, etc., etc.
Yes.
Some people say, some commentaries say that yoga means joining of the self with the self, capital S.
Yeah, that is joining to Bhagavan.
To Bhagavan.
To Bhagavan.
So yoga kshema vahamyam.
Yeah.
So means whether this is correct or that is correct.
Everything is correct.
So means joining with the Lord or joining with the worldly things which we want.
See, Bhagavan, desire to Bhagavan, if that is your desire, that's also a desire, right? You understood? That is why we have to learn Ramana Maharshi or Shankara, where they don't even have that desire. You are not meditating because I don't want silence. Why should I desire for joining to Bhagavan? Why should I try myself to become a yoga rudhan? That itself is a selfish desire. So desire is anyway desire. Yogakshemam Mahamyaham is a very famous word because it is part of Life Insurance Corporation of India. That below the emblem you can see that writing. Got it? I gave a lot of lectures on to all the insurance people. $1 million roundtable conferences. Those who do $1 million businesses. I used to be an invitee to tell them because I used to explain through Bhagavad Gita what is insurance policy. The relevance of insurance policy. See, every one of us want to become safe. The status quo. Daridryam is poverty. Poverty in Bharatiya Shastram is not having sufficient food. Even a millionaire is poor because he has a desire unfulfilled.
Yes.
So, desire should not be there. Vairagya siddhyartham samarpayami. Without any requirement, I am giving. Then why are you giving it?
Yeah.
Then why are you giving is the question. You are giving because there is a desire. So, giving itself is not there. These things are understood only very few people like Vivekananda understood. Got it? So if you want to really understand Bhagavad Gita, you must look at Vivekananda. If you want to really understand Bhagavad Gita in the social concept, you must look at Mahatma Gandhi. So all of them had a Vairagyam. But still they had a desire. What is the desire? The freedom of India was the desire. So there is nothing called, for some people, freedom of India is joining to Bhagavan. For some people, knowledge is desire. So how is desire satisfied? One is knowledge, second is fame, third is money, then the fourth one is happiness. All of them are independent. And you cannot have happiness when you have all these three. So just happiness, that is madness. Without all this, if you want only happiness, then you are a mad person. So everything is associated with that. So what is that what I want? I don't want, let everybody have it. That is my desire. Then everybody wants any karma which I do for my child, to bringing up my child, feeding my child, getting my job done and getting salary, that is not accounted as karma at all. I am doing this 1 hour for somebody else to get a benefit. This is a karma. What is my expectation? My happiness. Any materialistic thing? Nothing. If that desire you have to make somebody ena kena prakarena yasya kasyabi dehinaha sandosham janayat pratna tadaivam ishvara pujanam. With my activity, if somebody gets some happiness, that activity which I do is Ishvara Puja. So I don't meditate. I don't even sit 1 hour closing my eyes and doing puja. No, that's waste of time as far as I am concerned. If that time I can serve somebody, that is Ishvara Puja.
Sir, in Indian philosophy, we always said that desire is always used in a negative sense of the term. So is it correct?
No.
Like in Buddhism, and desire is always negative.
Desire is always there. Everyone has a desire to live. But live for me or live for somebody else. You understood? I am not living for me. I don't require anything. But I require what? To give it to somebody else. Because I want to help poor, my prayer is let there be a lot of poor people. No, that also should not be there. Let everybody be rich, everybody be happy. When I want to teach, my desire is people who are listening to me should not have knowledge. No, you should have knowledge. And then you raise higher. And there is a selfishness. Oh, he was my student. Every teacher has a selfishness. Every parents have got selfishness. But I am not demanding anything reverse. I don't want. My happiness is finished as soon as I serve. The serving is over, the return is already got. When I am planting the tree, that enjoyment is there, that's good enough. I am not expecting a fruit out of it tomorrow, no. That is what Bhagavan says, don't expect the phalam. Karma is important.
Sir, one more question. In the very first chapter, you said there is no conversation between Arjuna and Krishna.
No.
Only Dhritarashtra and Sanjay.
Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Arjuna also. Arjuna is self-describing his pathetic state.
Yes. Huh. But no dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna.
Krishna doesn't come at all. Krishna comes only in second chapter.
Why Vyasji has named at the end, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supnishatu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nam Prathamodhyaya. Why it is said like that?
That is because the
Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade, this term should not have been used in the first chapter, only for the first chapter.
See, that probably probably most of the Bhagavad Gita part which is told as Bhagavad Gita today, what we know, must not have been written by Vyasa as it is. It not have been Krishna told 4 hours cassette to Arjuna. It would have been added, expanded by people. Otherwise, I don't think Krishna will repeat same sloka everywhere, expanding. We don't know. Actually, Mahabharata itself is not as it is written by Vyasa. It was added many times. So, Bhagavad Gita also would have added by many people in same style, same slokas. Keep on adding. We don't know the origin. And the ending, I don't think it was put into chapter wise, sloka wise by Vyasa and then printed and given. This is first chapter, second chapter. Krishna will never do it anyway. Vyasa will never do it because Vyasa is Krishna himself. These are all academic activity would have happened later. So somebody wanted a break in between. So you added some sloka saying that. And definitely it is part of Brahma Vidya. And this is also part of Upanishads. That is there in the Dhyana Slokam also. Krishna will not write, Vyasa will not write Vyasena Graditam Purana Muninam. Do you think Vyasa himself will popularize his name? So Dhyana Slokam he has not written. Isn't it? So in Dhyana Sloka is the starting which says it is a combination of Brahma Vidya and all that. Then they started adding. So don't. That is not at all. That is why in some text you can see the number also changes. Some text in this number will not be in the other number because different versions are there. Grantham moonu pagarthidil muhurtam mutramayidu. If you copy muhurtam 3-4 times it will become mutram. You know what is mutram? Urine. Muhurtam is auspicious time. When you copy 3-4 times it will change. That's why Ramayana itself we have got 42 varieties of Ramayana. Luckily Bhagavad Gita is not that old, therefore we don't have many Bhagavad Gitas. So this duplication, dilution and all is possible.
One more question.
Yeah.
In this COVID situation, what should be the best message of Bhagavad Gita?
The whole thing is to tell you that be courageous, be a warrior. Whether you live or not live doesn't matter. If at all you are living, live for somebody else. It is not because you wanted to.
The action.
Yeah. The action is whatever you are doing, do it 100% committed within the limitations what you can do. Don't stuck. What will do, what I will do. With that thoughts, you don't waste your time. Keep on doing whatever possible. Every year I used to conduct camps. This year it is not possible. I started a virtual camp. Some of the people who are attending here are part of my virtual camp. And virtual camp I am more busy than the real camp because I will have to answer to 50, 60, 70 people are there. At least 50 of them will keep on sending message. So I am teaching whatever I am teaching in the camp in a different style. So adjust yourself. I am not able to open this place because there is no door. I don't waste time pushing this and saying that it should open here only. I will find a door, some other method. We are like a river. The flow is like a river. Something stuck here, the river will not stop. I keep filling. And by filling, I will overflow after some time. So don't get stuck in life. Keep flowing. Keep filling. Sometime you will start trying it below that, sidewise, everywhere you will try. If nothing works, fill it and overflow. When it overflows, what beautiful. No, that is the best beauty of a river. Normal flowing river is not that beautiful. When it overflows huddles, that is where you have got the real beauty. The river water will become like a pearl, whitish waterfall. Waterfall is more beautiful than rivers. So when something is stuck and you overflow that, then that becomes beautiful. See, if there was no COVID, I will never know Jayanti, I will never know Yamini, I will never know Prema, I will never know Chinmay. How do I don't even know most of you. So what a great chance. COVID is a fantastic thing. That's what we should tell. Because anyway, we cannot stop. COVID is like a God only, invisible.
So we should take.
Everything
So we should take Diksha from you.
Everything is positive.
We'll be your disciple. So excellent, sir.
Accept,
So much-
accept,
Many
accept,
thanks, sir.
accept,
So kind of you.
accept reality. That's it.
So she is a great lover of Jagannath.
I never came to Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is one city I never came.
You have never come to Bhubaneswar? Why, sir?
Nobody called.
It is a neighboring state.
Nobody called. Neighboring state only, but nobody called. I will
We are
only.
your neighbors.
I will only go when there is some
I am calling you there.
Something-
I am inviting you.
something which I can give it to somebody else. I will go. To take something, I will never go there. But I have a beautiful story written on Bhubaneswar. I have written
You
a.
come sometime, sir.
I have,
We'll be your
I have written a story, a cinema story based on Bhubaneswar, Jagannath. Your Mahapatra is there, filmmaker Mahapatra, who made that Bhubaneswar movie. We were together. sometime.
Satyasachi.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I have got a lot of good friends in Bhubaneswar. Your previous chief secretary was a good friend of mine. There are a lot of people in Bhubaneswar who are close to me.
Come sometime, sir. Please.
Inshallah, we say, as God wishes.
So give us some enlightening speech. सर बीच बीच में कभी कभी समय मिल जाए तो आप थोड़ा ऐसे ही दे दीजिए सत्संग.
We have again Yamini. We have on Thursday, right? We have on
Thursday.
Thursday. Yamini's sound is.
Yes.
Yeah. Thursday we have on
Yamini.
Dashamahavidya, Devi Sankalpa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That day we will tell not Krishna, Devi is the most powerful. It's like you go to different buffet, whichever counter you go, this is the best.
Any other question or?
I have a doubt.
Yeah, Harini.
This is Harini.
Yeah.
There are many avatars of Lord Krishna, and they say Lord Vishnu. So Krishna is known as one of the avatars, but many people say he is the super soul, and he revealed himself as Lord Vishnu. So what is the true thing?
That is because he lived in close to us. We are very close to him because he lived in this world. He had good ability to market himself. In Dwapara Yuga, he was great. But before that, Treta Yuga, Rama was the best. So in each Yuga, there are people. So we are very close to that Yuga, so we remember him more. That's it. There are so many people who says Rama is much better than, he is a full Dharmaputra. Dharma avatar is, Krishna played a lot of tricks. Because in Dwapara Yuga, you cannot become not close to Satya Yuga. Everybody is not very clear. Treta Yuga, some people were bad. but most of the people were good. In Dwapara Yuga, many people were bad, only few people were good. In Kali Yuga, everybody is bad. So that is how the process goes. And your story probably is by ISKCON, because ISKCON people don't believe in Rama, they believe only in Krishna. For them, Rama is Balarama. So they have their own interpretation. So that is where the dilution has happened. That is not true. As per Bharatiya Shastra, Rama is the more...
The last question, I forget.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, why in Char Dham, 3 Vishnus are there? Badrinath, Jagannath and Dwarkadhis.
Yeah.
And why Rameshwaram is Shiva? 3 Dhamas are of Vishnu, 1 Dhama is Shiva.
Yeah.
Why?
That is because Lord Rama himself only had one god, that was Shiva. Rameshwara is the place where Rama himself started doing puja to Shiva. So there, because Rama did puja to Shiva, there is no difference. It's only Sankalpa. There is no difference between Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma. Everybody is one and the same. Their wives are also one and the same. All of them put together is only one lady. That we will see on Thursday. Yamini's interest. So all these people became only gods because they all did puja to Adi Parashakti, Devi. So they are all cousin brothers only. That is why Hari and Hara, both are same. Hari and Har, both, no difference. That is why it becomes Haridwar, it also becomes Haradwar. Because from Haridwar you have to go to Haradwar. Got it? No difference. Vishnu Padam is the cross which we have to cross before going to Himalaya. When I went to Kailash, we have got an arch we have to cross. That is, we are surrendering our action and then become Samadhi. So from action to Samadhi, we become Shiva. Morning when we wake up, it is Brahma who calls you. That's called the Brahma Muhurtam. Hey, DrTPS, get up. Day, I become a Vishnu man. Evening, Shiva, Samadhi. Go to sleep. Tomorrow when I will come or not, Brahma will decide. But Shiva will make me to sleep. That's it.
I had another doubt.
Jayanti's heartbeat is rising. Yeah.
It's thought that a person who never takes birth and never dies is called a god. But Lord Krishna has taken birth and has died, like in different...
That's actually the soul. There is a beautiful poem which I wrote. Arrow comes from shadow. It is there in my Life of Love book, in which I have explained Rama, Krishna and up to Buddha, the karma, how do you transit from one Janma to another Janma in one single poem. Arrow comes from shadow. So it is only our thoughts that things are changing. Actually, it is like yesterday, today and tomorrow. For God, it is one yuga, next yuga, next yuga. For individual, it may be 120 years and next Janma, that's it. When we are living, it is a micro. When we are out, it becomes a macro. So micro and macro is our life. There is no difference. So we take birth one day, next day we will die. That is why in that book it is written. And I also have written Buddha cannot be this Janma because one Janma, Rama had a prefix Sita. Krishna had a prefix. But in Buddha's case, he divorced. So you have to continue that same story. Then you cannot be one avatar. Because some character has to continue. So some logic is described there. You can read those poems. Good enough, Jayanti? Buddha, that is why Buddhist people believe that Buddha is that. But Kali is yet to be come. So there is one poetry which I says, God, you must tell which avatar you are taking in Kali Yuga. That is also one of the poetry, because when Rama came, he got Vatmiki also along with to write his story. Krishna got Vyasa to write his story. So Kali has to bring his own person. Those days there was only one language. But today if an author has to be bought, he has to get an Oriya. Chinmay will say, I want Oriya. Somebody will say, I want in Hindi. Somebody will say. So many people have to be taken birth to write their stories. Because Sanskrit, many people don't understand. It's a beautiful poem making fun of things.
Sir,
But
any prediction about
Kali. Each one of us are Kali only.
Sir, any for God Kalki avatar?
Each one of us have got inside that Kalki. We cannot tell. Most of the godmen who are acting are all some sort of fractional people for Kaligala only. They are actually destroying many of the concepts which has come earlier. The first thing what Kali is supposed to do is make disbelief in all the gods. That is what they are doing probably. They will twist everything. That is why yoga is twisted. Everything is twisted so that people don't follow it later. Kalau karta yugam karma sadaya kartumishchadi swamidrohi idam matva idaram badade Kali. What Kali does is, whatever God has told, everything will be twisted and make them enemy towards God. That is the first thing what they will do. That is why people make money, they become rich. Everybody think you have to do all false things to become rich. All false people become famous. But then God will start pushing them down. Right? So, your examples are around you.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So our thoughts also action, our thoughts part of our karma, and how do we create experiences through our thoughts?
See, thoughts goes beyond action, before action. What goes first? Before asking question, the thought of action, the question came inside you. So thought is only the leading factor for action, for everyone. Unless your thoughts doesn't come from buddhi, thoughts doesn't come from manas. Instantaneous. That's why I call the presence of mind. You don't think. When you have to apply brake, you are not thinking. Automatically you apply brake. That is accidental. When before falling, automatically your muscle will start making powerful so that you will not get some problem here. Automatically that happens. When you are switching on the light, you know that light is going to be on, your eye slit will become controlled. So all these actions are controlled by the Atma inside us. So there is no difference between thoughts and action for an Atma. That is why Bhagavan says, don't think and act instantaneous. That is accidental. Being simple. We become sophisticated. If I want to ask a question, I will think, what should I do? How should I act? Instantaneous. So you become so simple. Then that becomes genuine. No sophistication. No diplomacy. You are not artificial. You are not trying to be a social being. You are a human being by nature, by birth. Kids are like that. They don't think. Got it? So there, thoughts and action, there is no difference. For us, thoughts and action, there is difference. As we grow, we go far away from God. By birth, God is inside them. So children are so beautiful. How do you understand them? As they wake up, you should smell them. They are so cute, so pure, because the rust gives them a purity. But as you grow, as soon as you wake up, you look so ugly. Without a bath, you cannot even go closer to them. So how do you understand somebody is spiritual or not? You must see them before brushing. In the bed, as soon as they come out, if they have a glaring face, they are like a real, pure, godly person. Atmiya Purushas are like that. That's why they don't even take bath. They don't have to take bath, they don't have to make up. Correct? So for them, action and thoughts are not there. They only act, thoughts are not there.
So thank you.
It's a beautiful state of mind. Okay?
I had a question.
We'll see maybe later. Jayanti is holding mic for a long time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, I am requesting Saurabh to conclude the session by...
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I would like to thank Mr. Dr. TPS, TP Sashikmar once again for creating some time for us and giving such a insightful and informative session again. And we really, like hearing him out because he always gives a new perspective which always enlightens us and touches us a place which we have not discovered. So this is what an informant and a knowledgeable person is like. So I really thank on behalf of all of us, and that's how I also like to thank Mrs. Jayanti Sahu ma'am for conducting this session once again for us, and I hope that we'll keep on conducting such sessions in near future.
Yeah, Jayanti is our driving force. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would like
Thank you so much, sir.
Your mic is mute. Jayanti's mic is mute. Yeah.
Yes, it's a request that if you know someone who is really interested to know about your own culture, own philosophy, so please join them. But they should have a positive, I always believe in positivism, a positive attitude to their own culture and own philosophy. So you can make them join, okay? Or you can tell me, I can make them join. So please join. So and tell your friends also, Saurabh, if they are interested, Yamini and Saurabh, you can make them join because hardly you get a chance to listen all such things.
There is somebody who generally follows me. Gandhi Saab, are you there? We have a Gandhiji here. He must have been forcefully muted.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
God bless you.
Always a blessing to listen to.
See you day after tomorrow. Yamini? See you day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If I'll
Is
send
that
the link.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you all.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Bye bye. Okay, Jayanti.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.